sounds like you need a boys' night. So we had boys' night. We went to Chili's. It was I love Chili's. It was a fun time, and we played yards. We had drinks. We ate ribs. It was a fun time. When we went back to my house, I was like, man, how did y'all do that? How did y'all make me forget about everything that was going on? And then like both paused. And I was like, how did y'all even know I like Chili's? And like they both looked at each other and they're like, well, we really didn't know if you liked Chili's or not. We kind of just figured you want your baby back. And they thought that was hilarious. Like they thought I was laughing, I was crying. I mean, it's really, there's no other way to put it. I don't know if y'all can tell by looking at me, I am mixed. And I would say the best way to describe being mixed is like sometimes you can't install your smoke detector properly. And then the other half of the time you're just like, salt is enough. I mean, I don't know. I tend to go more into my white side. Like my favorite activity right now is to pretend to be an old racist white man on Twitter. I pretend to be you. No, I'm sure. No, I mean it's my favorite thing to do. It was my favorite thing to do until my grandfather on my white side started following me and liking all of my racist tweets. I didn't know what was worse, the fact that my grandfather had Twitter or the fact that he might be racist, I don't know. And it was funny because like his tweets were either like the most racist thing you've ever seen or like, Panera got any deals? I don't know, I like Panera. Anyone else?
Yeah.
No? Okay, you got Panera haters in the crowd? I like Panera. I don't know. I like Subway too. Subway is one of my favorite restaurants. They were under like fire because they don't have any kids meals. Like they only have like foot long or 6 inch. They don't have like a meal for kids. And they actually recently changed that because of all the backlash they were getting. It's called the Jared's meal. They do check ID. You have to be underage. Like Subway really prided themselves on like you can get whatever you want. He took that to heart. I don't know. Like, just imagine being that, like, he's up there with the Subway higher ups, and they're like talking about different breads, cheeses, and he's like 12-year-olds. I don't know. Alright. What else? Okay. Recently, I got invited to go to a pride parade with one of my friends. And I was like, Humphrey's doing really well. It was something to cancel now. So I went. And I mean, it was a fun time. When we were walking back to my car, she was like, did you enjoy it? And I was like, yeah, it was fun. And she was like, yeah, last year was better though, because it was so hot. Like, I hate that it's in June. And I was like, you think it's hot now? Just wait. Okay, it's alright. I'm going to think about it. I don't know. I work at a school. I may not much longer after this, but I did work at a school. And I asked one of my students one time, I was like, what do you guys think is the worst thing that anyone can say to you? And one of the kids came up to me, he was like, Mr. Gideon, that's such a good question. Can you give me a little bit of time to think about it? And I was like, okay, I guess. So I gave him until dismissal, and eventually the buses came. And I was like, Timmy, you got my answer? And he was like, do you think there's any way that I could take this home and discuss it with my parents? And I was like, I guess. I mean, sure. So then today, I went up to him, and I was like, so Timmy, you have an answer for me. What is the worst thing that anyone can say to you? And he was like, Mr. Gideon, I think the worst thing that anyone could ever say to me is that I look like Mr. Gideon. He was sitting down all recess. It was. Are you ready for your next comic? He just got here. He is black, so that gave it away. Make some noise for Jason Bowen. Oh no, he's coming.
How y'all doing? Good. Y'all do better than that. How y'all doing?
How we doing?
All right, that's what I'm talking about. I did not know y'all waiting on me. I did not know that.
Oh, man.
I did not know. I was sitting in the parking lot looking for the Bowen truck. I didn't know y'all waiting on me to come here. But yeah, I'm from Memphis. You ever been to Memphis before?
Yeah.
Give a round to yourselves, man. You made it back, okay? You made it back. Everything you see about Memphis is absolutely true, okay? They steal the police car, they go through a ride. They ride an ambulance through the park. And also, they be trying to kidnap people, but they don't kidnap black people. I was thinking kidnap my son or something. You know, that's a whole different story. But how many people got kids here?
Yeah. That's how we do. That's hard work.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I got kids on the front row, so I got to change everything up I'm about to say. But the thing was, like, he told me this was like, he said, hey, you want to be on the show? I'm like, yeah, let's do it, because I ain't did a show in like 3 months. And then a week prior to the show, he said it's a clean comedy show. I said, oh, Lord. I said, he don't know I'm from Memphis. Like, that's all we do. All we do is cuss and play cards and eat barbecue. That's all we do. So I said, okay, cool. I said, Lord, protect my tongue. Let me just stay guided.
Yeah.
But, so, have y'all heard about the zebra? Come on, man. The biggest news y'all had was the zebra. Like, when they caught the zebra, they wrote a book about the zebra. I said, wow. And here I am. I want to write a book, Surviving in Memphis. When will that get published? But the thing about living here is I love it because I met some good people. I made some great connections. I ain't gonna lie. The police, super friendly. I ain't gonna lie. One of them, my next door neighbor, he waved to me every morning. I said, hey, how you doing? He said, all right. I'm thinking to myself, I don't know why he just nodded his head like that. I'm like, I'm just really trying to figure out. Then one day I put my bike in the trunk, I could go bike ride. He said, hey, buddy, I got you. I said, nah, man, look how you dress. You got your whole get up on, like with a pistol handcuff. I don't want you to help me with my bike. You know, it looked like I'm stealing the bike, okay? Let me help you with it, no. But then, you know, it's crazy because I was at Walmart on Old Fort, okay? And it was amazing because I had a flat tire. And tell me why the Walmart workers actually came out to help me change my tire. I was like so wild about the whole thing. And then you had the nerve to say, you can't park right here because it's for pickup only. I said, well, that was rude. Okay? But you leave me with my flat tire.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is, like living here is like relationship. Because I see a lot of couples here tonight, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, man. Have y'all been together 10 years? Anybody? 15? 20? Okay, forget it. How long y'all been together? Black cat. My bad, kids, my bad. I will backslide to get all backslide, okay? But the relationship is good, okay? Until you get to argue. But I just want to know, like, have y'all ever got to an argument where y'all don't even speak to each other in the house at all? Yeah? Okay. Imagine this is me walking. This is my wife standing right here. So I'm walking down the hallway, right? True story. I'm walking, I walk past and she gonna do this. I'm like, why she look at me like I'm a stranger? So I got petty. Yes, I did.
You retaliated.
Yep.
Dang.
She wanted to cook. I said, no problem, baby, go ahead. She said, can you take the season now? Sure, no problem. I tightened up every season top. Okay? I made her have to call my name. She was like, can you come open this? Oh, you need me now. Sure, here I come. But you know, when you got kids, you know, they funny too, okay? Because my youngest, all his friends got cars. Okay? All of them got cars, they go to Riverdale, he just loved it to death. And the thing is, he gonna tell me, he say, Mom, Dad. I said, what's up? He said, can I get a car? No.
Yeah.
You better, I guess, for a piece of gum. No, we're not getting the car. He said, why don't my friends drive? I said, you see the house that your friends got? Okay, they in the borough. I'm from North Memphis. There's a difference. So he said, okay, well, can you just take over one of my friends? I said, okay, cool. So we pull up, me being who I am. I said, what the house is? He said, that one in the back. I said, wait a minute. You talking about the one that's sitting on like a 5 acres? That one? He said, yeah, that one. I said, what your friend mama do for a living? He said, I don't know, they in sales. I ain't gonna lie. When I walked up to the house, I mean, the doors was about this high, right here. And I just looked at it. I didn't know if guys lived there or what. I didn't know what was going on. But I told him, I said, come on, son, let's go. We don't need to be here. They're going to think we're doing something. Let's get out here. All right, so look, I'm going to leave y'all with this, okay? I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself. I'm Jason Bowen, okay? So you follow me on Instagram. I'm Jason Bowen. And also, if you do get a chance, I got 2 movies on Amazon, okay? They're called Craps and Friends. I'll check them out. But I'm gonna take off my last thing where baby moved to Murfreesboro, okay? And this is it. So, I was actually riding around Orange Mountain. They call it Orange Mountain, Tennessee. It's in Memphis. You know where it's at. 2 fingers around, 3 fingers down. Don't play with it. So, Orange Mountain is a rough neighborhood, okay? You take y'all rough neighborhood here. Nah, y'all got a rough neighborhood. Y'all take Nashville rough neighborhood at times about 10. That's Orange Mountain. Orange Mountain is a place where there is a guy sitting on a steps with no house behind him, okay? That's Orange Mountain. He want to ask you, need help finding something? Well, we can try to find the house that pretend to be behind you. But that's Orange Mountain. So, I was riding around, you know, just visiting family, okay? I'm not doing that bad, okay? I'm not one of them people. I'm from Memphis. Y'all okay? Okay, y'all cars are still gonna be in the same place we left without broken windows, okay? But the thing is, like, I saw one of my homeboys. He said, man, he said, I can see you in a minute. I said, yeah, I tried to lay low. He said, I got a TV for sale. I said, for real? I'm like, what are they going for? He said, man, bro, it's 75 inches. I don't want to $25. I said, man, come on. And like, what do we do when we get a good deal? Man, I don't even know about this. Too good to be true. He said, bro, I got the remote control and everything in the auxiliary cord. I said, okay. I said, can you help me load it up? He's like, I got you. Talking about 25. I said, boom, gave me 25. So I go home excited. I'm riding down the E-way. I said, babe, I got a brand new TV. She said, for real? I'm like, yeah. So I said, let me get it out. Get out the trunk. Tell me why I brought a TV in. She looked and said, I don't know about this, Jason. I said, what you mean? She said, that looked too good. I said, okay. So I said, look, let me go and plug it up. So I plugged the TV up. It came on. I said, what you think? She said, I think I want to go ahead and play the McDonald's order because that's where it came from. My name is Jason Bowen. Thank you. I got to do it.
Give it up one more time for Jason. Somebody get your all right. So I thought you was talking to me. I got scared. I started shaking. I was like, why is he getting loud? Alright. Are y'all ready for your next comment? Give it up for Marianna Barksdale.
Give it up for Gideon one more time. Y'all are fun. Did you get the $1 off for coming and sitting in the front? That would be my go-to. I love a deal, you know. So are we a lot of married couples here? Yeah, same. Me too. I'm married as well. Me and my husband, we were born about a month apart. Like he was born in March and I was born in April. And we're gonna die together. I'm gonna make sure of it. Yeah, I'm gonna poison him. Yeah, it'll be the first time I ever cook for him. He's never gonna see it coming. It'll be great. I'm just gonna poison him slowly, you know, so he needs me. Because like, isn't that the best part of marriage? Like, you just want to be needed, right? She's like, no, absolutely not. But like, that's the thing, is like, they say that 50% of marriages end in divorce, but the other 50% end in murder, so ours is gonna be murder, right? You never see it coming from me, right? I look like I couldn't murder anybody, but I could. If it was poison, I could do it. Okay, this is a clean show, I should stop. I know, it's dark. I know, it's dark, guys, it's dark clean. No way. You know what else about my husband? My husband's, he's a hairy guy. You know, like in the 70s, back when men had lots of hair on them. Like, he's so hairy, I've never seen him naked. He's so hairy, he looks like our cat's biological father. He's so hairy, we went to the zoo, he got shot with a tranquilizer gun. I know, I didn't even know him like that until I saw him without clothes on for the first time, and I was like, oh my god, I'm a furry. I didn't even know how cool I was, you know? Right? But like, the thing is that, so my husband's so furry, like front, back, sides, everything, except right here, you know? Like, he's just got the lawnmower, right? And but he acts like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he's like always running around, and he just like, "Rah!" You know, like that. That's a good impression of my husband. But he's like Stone Cold Steve Austin if he was also a werewolf, you know? So the other day, he's always acting like this too. The other day, he's just like, I'm gonna go start the grill completely naked, you know? And he walks out onto the deck completely naked. It's not dark. We live in a neighborhood, you know? And I wasn't worried that the neighbors were gonna call the cops. I was worried they were gonna call animal control. I know. I love him so much though, like I couldn't live without him. It'd be a funny life without him. He's always running around, like he'll do this thing where he'll run and he'll jump in the middle, and he'll fart in the middle. Does anybody, y'all do that to your wives? You just run and then, sorry, that just kind of came to me, and I was like, I need to tell them right now. I don't want to brag. I actually, I've been doing a little bit of acting lately, very exciting. I've recently got cast to play a woman who's recently undergone a gas leak. I know, they picked my personality for that. They heard my comedy and they were like, she seems like something went wrong. Earlier this year I got cast to play a mean person. So I was like, oh good, this is great, this is all going very well. I'm mean and had a gas leak. Speaking of acting, does anybody like sci-fi movies? Oh, me too. I love sci-fi movies, or Tom Cruise movies, kind of sci-fi action. I love Tom Cruise, but like, I don't think he's that good of an actor. You know, like, I think he thinks it's all really happening. You know, they're like, Tom, there's an alien over there. And he's just like, yeah, there's an alien over there. Sorry, I have to make this more realistic. He's like, yeah, there's an alien over there. I know. He climbed the tallest building in the whole world, like from the outside of it, like just so nobody realizes he has to climb on top of the thing to reach the cabinets. I know, that's my favorite move. My husband's only a little bit taller than me. That's my favorite move to make him feel masculine. Is be like, can you reach this? I can't get it. Nobody else? All right, I get it. One of my friends recently, actually I have no idea how long I've been up here. Okay, I'm good. One of my friends recently, she adopted an elderly dog. She adopted him when he was 13, so she was like, okay, I'll make the rest of his life like very nice and comfortable. She's a lawyer, the dog lived for 10 more years. I know, so very recently she had to put him down, and she asked me to be there for her, and I realized when this happened that there's a difference between rich people and poor people. She asked me to come there and be there with her when the dog was being put down, and I didn't realize there was going to be a vet at the house. just showed up with rubber gloves, ready to drown him in the tub. I mean, I wasn't as close to the dog. You know, he wasn't my dog. He was her dog. I didn't want her to have to drown him in the tub. That would be horrible, you know? And then luckily there was a vet, so I didn't know they did that, right? I'm from Alabama. We didn't do that growing up. All of our animals went to live on a farm. Y'all too? Yeah, the farm, I know. It's upstate. Yeah, it's upstate, exactly. It's in Canada. They all go to Canada. That's where they are, I know, it's great. I lie to doctors. Anybody else? No? I got it from my mom. My mom also lies to doctors. My dad's a doctor. You know, sometimes, like, I trust doctors for the most part, but I also know that they're human, they're fallible, you know? Like, my dad, like, he's one of the smartest doctors there is. He identifies your cancer, you know? That's a great doctor, right? He has also tased himself. So, like, sometimes when he's giving me medical advice, I'm just like, we'll see, you know? We'll see if that's right. My brother's also a doctor, and he gave a girl the ability to walk again, but he can't boil water, so I know, he couldn't keep himself alive anyway. I'm gonna tell one more joke. I feel like I'm at probably around 10. Okay. I had to have sinus surgery a couple of years ago, because I just went to the ENT because I had allergies, and so the doctor was like, oh, I'm gonna shove this needle that's like 6 inches long down your face, right? And she shoved it down my face, and apparently I needed an emergency CAT scan. And I didn't know what that means, so they sent me to the CAT scan place, and they scanned my cat. Wherever that is. And they told me that my sinuses were 98% blocked and 2% Cherokee. So I had to have surgery, and they pulled this cyst out of my face that was like the size of a golf ball, and it wasn't cancer, but they called it benign and aggressive, so it was slowly turning into cancer, like an angry chihuahua, you know? It'll kill you eventually. But the fun part about the surgery was that, like, the doctor was like, oh, well, we need to, you know, you're having surgery, you need to be put on oxycodone. And I was like, oh, no, absolutely not. I've seen all the documentaries. Oxycodone looks awesome. And I don't want to get addicted. So, she was like, it's okay. If you don't want them, throw them away. No big deal. Don't have to take them. By the time I was in the car going home, they were all gone. The thing about like having surgery is that they give you the oxycodone, but Tylenol is what takes away your pain. Okay? Tylenol takes away your pain, but oxycodone just makes you feel like you're in a musical. Like about a surgery you just had. It's a terrible musical. I do not recommend it. But yeah, no, I know. And then, anyway, I guess I feel like I've gone way over my time now. Anyway, my name is Marianna Barksdale. Thank you so much.
Give it up one more time for Marianna. Hug your dogs tonight. I don't know. I recently, is everyone here from Murfreesboro? Yeah. I don't know if y'all know this. There's like a Murfreesboro like group chat on Facebook. It's like a group that you can join. I recently got kicked out of it. There was like someone recently moved to Murfreesboro and they joined the group and they're like, you know, what are fun activities to do here? What are the do's and don'ts? And you know, me and my husband, we love to go bar. We're at the good bars. And you know, I feel like I'm a pretty funny guy and I feel like I'm a comedian. So I went in the comments and I was like, you know, there's a lot of great spots, but I feel like, you know, you should give MJ's a shot.
Whoa.
Instantly kicked. Like, just literally instantly silly. Are y'all ready for your next comedian? Y'all ready for your next comedian? Give it up for Joel Beasley.
How we doing tonight? That's medium anything. How we doing tonight? Before I came on stage tonight, a guy asked me for a tip on how to grow a beard. And I said, yeah. So the best tip I have is you need to find a woman who likes beards. Yeah, to do that, you just look for the girls who kiss their dogs on the mouth. It checks out. You can just uninstall Tinder and go right to the dog park. I know this because I found one and I married her. And her father hates that joke. He's not a fan. He's not a fan. Crushing it, no joke. Alright. When I first started growing my beard, my wife loved it. The longer it got, the more excited she got. And that made me feel great. My confidence went through the roof. Until I realized covering up my face made me more attractive. Got parents here tonight? Clap it up, parents. Two, one. All right. Anyone have more than one kid? Clap it up. No, we got 3 kids. All right. What's the hardest part about having 3 kids? Shout it out. Everything. Amen. Yes. I have 3 kids. For me, the hardest part, if we're in a busy parking lot with lots of cars all run in different directions, then I have to choose which one lives. Anyways, that's not even the worst part. The worst part's that it's easy. Look, I don't have a favorite, but I know the word. My 6-year-old son, he heard me do that joke in a comedy competition. He came up to me after and he said, "Dad, that's my favorite joke." I said, "It won't be when you figure it out." If you can't tell by my beard and the fact that I live in Tennessee, we homeschool our kids. We do. And we teach them all the important things in life, like self-sufficiency, respect, how to overthrow the government. Okay, that joke worked. We're just trying new stuff here tonight. My daughter is 7, she's amazing, and she drew a picture for Father's Day of the whole family. We were stick figures, and we were naked. Yeah. And she drew everything. Yeah. And I was pretty surprised because she was very generous with it's the best portrait of me ever. I'm just gonna put that out there. She hung it on the fridge. I was so proud. My wife saw it. She's like, "Oh my God, you gotta take that down. The babysitter's coming." I'm like, "Hold on." I think we should support our daughter's art. Let's be respectful. My son was 6. Oh man, the other day, Thursday this week, we have this thing at work called Feel Good Thursday. It's super lame. We all go around in a circle and we say something we're feeling good about. And they got to me and like, "Joel, what are you feeling good about?" And I said, "Well, this week I remembered to take my ring off before I hit my son." Yeah. And this 20-year-old girl is like, "That's so rude. I would never hit my dog." And I was like, "That's not the same thing." It's like, but if you got like Michael Vick's dog, yeah. Like, look, looking at my son is like looking at a terrorist, right? I'm not scared of him asking for a cell phone when he's older. I'm scared of him asking for a pager. You know? Our Bieber joke kind of crushed it. We're still working through stuff. We've been married 50 years. What's the secret to a happy marriage? She's not here? Is that the secret? Here's the secret. Yeah. I like people who've been married for 50 years. I've only been married for 10. So that's as much experience as I have. And when I see people who've been married longer, they really understand what it's like to be married. Right? Because there's that first day you get married when it's brand new. You're like, I do take this person. Everyone talks about that moment. There's this moment about 7 years into it nobody talks about. And that's the moment where you're like, do I? Is this how it's going to be forever? And that's when you end up in marriage counseling. You've been to marriage counseling? No? I don't believe that. I don't know whether to clap for you or keep pushing on the fact that you're a liar. Oh my goodness. Do you break down the Amazon boxes for her? Yeah. She does for you. This is not working out well. We're just grab engagement tonight. I'm not doing that. Moving right along. My love language is acts of service, which means I love when my wife does things for me. Yeah, like the dishes. It's a clean show. It's a clean show. I do. I'll leave a plate out on the countertop and she'll say I'm being messy. But that's just me flirting. You're laughing. You like that? She likes that. She's like, I've had 60 years of this. Yeah. That's flirting. That's the love language. Okay? So we went to talk to our pastor about this. That's how I ended up in marriage counseling, just being a little bit messy. And the pastor said, hey, here's what you should do. You should hire a maid. That sounds pretty reasonable, right? You like that, don't you? That's a good idea. But I was surprised that the answer to my marriage problems is another woman. I was like, okay, pastor, I don't know where you got your degree, but But I'm scared to hire a maid. I am because I fall in love easily, you know? I want to respect my wife. I do want to respect her. So we interviewed a bunch of them, and it turns out it's not going to be a problem because the ugly ones are cheaper. So, there's an ugly maid joke. That works. I call that a win right there. My wife and her therapist recently diagnosed me with autism. I wasn't there. I didn't fill out a form or take a test. 2 women just had a conversation, and I was diagnosed. You know, the older ladies that's what they do now. Women just talk and they watch TikTok videos, and then they just decide to diagnose their husbands. That's how it goes. Okay, you guys aren't with me on this one. Like, you go to doctors, that's like half our day. Oh my goodness. I'm bad at compliments, if you can't tell. I am bad at compliments. I want to say sweet things, the way they just come out is wrong. Like the other day, I wanted to tell my wife, baby, I love you. And as we grow old together, I never want you to experience the pain of losing me, living your last days alone. And the way it came out was, I love you, and I hope you die first. As I said that, I could just feel her. You know that sixth sense? You can just feel them staring at you, even across the table. This guy knows what I mean. You can just feel them staring at you. And I was frozen. I was just like frozen. I felt like Animal Planet, like a gazelle that just locked eyes with a lion, you know? Sexy lion in yoga pants. I could hear David Attenborough in my head. The husband is a foolish animal. He will be sleeping alone tonight. And that I did. Another night I slept alone was the night we updated our life insurance policy. We go in there and update the policy, and the guy goes, Joel, how much would it cost to replace your wife? I was like, next question. This feels like a trap. He's like, look, this is the only question. This is what we're going to do today. We're going to make a list of everything she does and how much it costs. I said, okay, the adults. Turns out she doesn't like how much I put for conjugal visits. I don't know how much that costs. I can't have that in my search history. I've got one of those Christian accountability apps. My pastor's going to see that. Joel searching for his wife's life expectancy. And happy endings. All right, moving on. So I told the guy, I said, look, man, we got to pick a number. Why don't I out of respect for my wife, why don't we just get the most insurance possible? Let's just get the most insurance possible. So he goes, okay, we'll do that. But I think I got too much. Because about 6 weeks later, she got the flu real bad. And I was like, maybe. Maybe the house is getting paid off. Which is the responsible thing to do when you have kids, am I right? It is. But I knew I'd gone too far when she was laying there sick. Just such bad shape. And I was on the Tesla website. Trying to decide if the all-weather mats were too much, too soon. She leans over, she goes, baby, what are you doing? So I'm going to hell, man. That's what's happening. My name is Joel Beasley. Thank you for your time and good night.
Give it one more time for Joel.
Yes, sir.
I forgot to tell y'all in the beginning, I recently have been trying to lose some weight. I've lost 70 pounds. Not a joke, it was an old joke. No. I actually have lost 70 pounds. I don't like telling the story on why I decided to. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I'll do it real quick. I was in the pool with my friend. My friend's a little bit older than me. He has a baby. He was holding his baby. He had to go to the bathroom. He gave me the baby. The baby started sucking on my boob. It felt at first. No, I'm just saying. So after that, I decided it was probably time to start losing some weight. So that's what I did. And one of the main, I was excited to see because he moved, and I was excited to see the baby again to see if it would do it. So I actually saw it last weekend, and he did, but I think it's because his mom's dead. I think Alright, I'm up. Are you ready for your next comment? Give it up. Give it for Joe Paul.
Dancing before you said my name. I'm like, I hope it's me. I do look like I'm here from HR. You are laughing too much, having too much fun. Has everyone filled out their survey? Are we having a good time, everybody? Yeah. Are we still drinking? Yeah. I tried to give up drinking recently. It was for Lent, and I lasted about as long as Katy Perry and those ladies in space. I was like, 11 minutes. I've seen the face of God. Time to come back down. I do wish that they had done a little bit more when they were up there. I'm like, have a girl power moment, you know, like first ladies in space to like do the Macarena, or like first time ladies have a conversation without apologizing for something, right? Like, sorry to take up space up here. I try to break glass ceilings when I can, you know, do things only the boys do. Like sometimes I'll like, you know, in the winter I'll go outside and just like shorts and flip-flops. I'm like, one of the boys, you know. Someone will send me like a heartfelt text message and I'll be like, thumbs up. That is my reaction. My favorite though is of course like if I have any kind of medical issue, I just let it fully consume my body before going to the doctor, right? Like, I'm like, let me just duct tape that hernia back in there, get it onto the roof, you know. I feel like there are a few things women still haven't quite like cracked yet, like criminal masterminds. Like you don't see a lot of lady criminal masterminds, right? Like we should start that tonight. It's kind of what I think, you know. There was the one lady, you know, in the turtleneck with the blood thing, but other than that, I'm like, I can't think of a single one, you know. And I think it's because we always have to have like our girls chat and like run every little plan by our friends and by our mother, you know what I mean? We'd have to be like, for that bank heist, what kind of gun should I get? Well, the pearl-handled pistol would make me look fat, you know? Is everybody gonna be mad when I shoot them, you know? Stuff like that. And then my mom would chime in and be like, well, while you're waving that gun around, why don't you come over here and show it to your father, because he won't shut up about those boxes in the garage, you know? My parents have been married since the Ford administration. Can anybody beat that?
No, but Joel was talking earlier about like what is the secret to success of marriage, and I don't know, but for them, it's that my mom doesn't know how to pump her own gas, you know? Like, that has been their secret. No, they're really good at like divvying up the chores in the house, you know, and it got me thinking, I feel like on first dates, instead of like eating a meal or getting a drink, you should have to put together a printer or something like that. Like, do a task together, you know? Because nothing will show your true colors more than like a piece of technology not working, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the type to be like, throw it at the wall. Hope you can live with this forever, you know? If you can get through that, you can get through a day, you know, at Dollywood with the family when it's 100 degrees out. I love Dolly Parton. Anyone else a Dolly Parton fan? Yeah, it's illegal to not like Dolly Parton, so like I'm glad everyone said yes. My grandpa turned 95 recently, which is like, if anybody hates me, I've got good genes, so like I'm gonna outlast you. But we got my grandpa a Dolly Parton impersonator for his birthday, right? So she like, you know, comes trotting in, whatever. And I was like, in retrospect, it does look like we tried to kill him with excitement to get the inheritance money. I don't know. I have like a very silly family. You know, a lot of people talk about how like their parents watch too much news, you know. My mom, she doesn't watch any news. She is what, I don't know, they call happy, you know. She is a preschool teacher, and so she's like, I don't like it when they're yelling at each other on the TV. And I'm like, that's fine, I'll just keep you updated on the important things. But the other day, she asked me very innocently, she goes, why are Israel and Iran mad at each other? And I was like, oh no! I was like, I found a chapstick in my bra earlier, and it was completely melted. I'm not the person that you need to be asking this of, you know? Like, let's just like shuffle you off to bingo now. I like pop culture a lot. That's what I like to watch. I saw earlier the Golden Bachelor. Does anybody watch that? No, I mean, like, have you seen it? So it's supposed to be like, you know, like seniors having like meeting like on Bachelor, and the Bachelor is 66 years old, and he says, I don't want any women who are over 60 years old. And I'm like, I think that's because, you know, every woman over 60, she's not gonna hear it from you. She's not gonna put up with your mess, you know. Like Jane Fonda's in her 80s, like, you know. I feel like you're not gonna be able to keep up, young man. I also saw, do you guys remember Kelsey Grammer from Frasier? Yeah, and many other things. He turned 70 years old, and he's having his 8th child. Can you imagine? I'm like, Frasier's still out here tossing salads and scrambling eggs, you know. Frasier has not left the building, but he should probably. I don't know. I'm also watching, and just like that, no, I can't say this word, but you know the ladies who are doing something in the city? Carrie Bradshaw. I'm like, this is a clean show. So like, what are those ladies doing in the city? And it got me thinking, if they did that show in Nashville, do y'all go through Nashville sometimes? Yeah. I feel like those ladies would just never make it to their dates because they would always just be looking for parking. Like, can't find parking, can't make it to the state. And Carrie would somehow afford to like live in Franklin, even though she like is like a blogger, you know. I don't know. The other thing I watched was I saw recently the Lion King, which is like one of my all-time favorite movies. It was 31 years ago that it was in the movie theaters, but like watching it as an adult is very different because I'm like, you know what? When Scar was like, be prepared, I do feel like that was good advice, you know? Like, was Scar the protagonist of The Lion King? Let's discuss. Alright, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna tell you this now because I'm leaving, and you know how mom's being at me. I am from I'm a little bit country, I'm a little bit, rock and roll. I'm like, I saw the other day there was a crystal shop next to a gun shop, and I'm like, I feel like that's me, you know what I mean? Like, grab the crystals, but like, have a backup plan, Just, stay vigilant. But I still make some rookie mistakes, like telling people that I'm a vegetarian, which like, I was like, when I smell that bologna though, I'm like, tonight might be the night. I don't know. It's been a while, but no, because you can't tell people you're a vegetarian because then they know they could kill you with Arby's, Like, you don't need an elaborate plot. You just need to give me a ham sandwich and I will cease to exist. No. The other lesson, rookie mistake that I made recently was I posted a little joke online, and very innocent. I like to hee haw a little bit. I posted a joke about Danica Patrick. Remember her? A lady driver. And I have no business talking about racing, right? Like, my reference point is the movie Cars, Like, Larry the Cable Guy, Rascal Flats, Life is a Highway. This is what I know of Cars. I'm parked on the curb outside. Like, I don't need to be talking about this, but apparently racing fans are very passionate. Is anyone in here a racing fan? I feel like y'all are. And they immediately, they were like in the comments like, yeah, she stinks. She probably has CTE from hitting her car into the wall so many times. And I'm like, yeah, I agree, thank you. I don't know. and then it kind of escalated a little bit, and they were like, and also, we think no women should drive. Not on any street. And I'm like, well, probably true for me, but not like women in general, right? And then they were like, and also, she's a bad lady, and then this one person was like, talking about me, was like, this guy, he probably doesn't even watch NASCAR, and he probably lives in his mom's basement. And I'm like, oh, I actually do have like a profile picture you can see, and you're still like, this guy doesn't even watch NASCAR. I don't know, it escalated much further in a way that I cannot explain at a clean show. But I didn't know what to do, so I just took a note from my mother, and I was like, hey, does anybody know why Israel and Iran are mad at each other? Bye! Anyways, all right, see you guys later. You've been great. Give it up for Gideon, everybody.
Give it up one more time for Joe. I was doing a project late yesterday for one of my classes, and I don't know if y'all know, like, whenever you're searching something up on like Google, there will be like topics about what's going on around the world, like all across the search bar. So I can't remember what exactly I was looking up, but on like the left, it was like, why are so many black people moving to Antarctica? And I was like, that's weird. And I just like clicked off of it, and I continued to do my project. And after that, I went to a show, and it was like all I could think of, like, why are black people moving to Antarctica? And then like it finally clicked in my head that they found the only place where they didn't have to learn where to swim because it's already frozen. Also, while I was scrolling on my phone, I saw on Facebook that Casey Anthony lives in Murfreesboro. She babysits. No, she doesn't. Any of y'all have your dad kids? She does it for free. Are y'all ready for your final comment? I said, are you ready for your final comment? Yeah! He runs the show Monday, every first Monday of the month, Smokes and Jokes. Please give it up for Nick Bush.
Let's go!
Cedar Glade Brews, make some noise for your bar staff.
Woo!
For keeping us drunk and hydrated. I like our bar staff. They are smart. They're very smart. They're like, we're doing live comedy, but we're leaving the TVs on just in case. I can tell y'all feel like that too, because earlier Jonathan came up here and he was like, hey, y'all, I'll take $1 off of anyone's tab who wants to sit up front. And y'all were like, the beer's great, but the comedy might be hit and miss. We'll take our chances over here. Man, thank y'all for sliding through. Thank y'all for pulling up. 4 of y'all, ladies. There you go. Y'all look like y'all skipped book club to be here. I appreciate that. I don't know why I said that. I said that because y'all two are wearing glasses. Like that. Well, y'all look like cool librarians. That's what I'm saying. That's what. I feel like at the library y'all would work at, they would have books, but they would also sell wine. You know, just like boop, The Great Gatsby, boop, Moby Dick, boop, 2012 Merlot. You know what I mean? Like, this is good, man. Shout out to this young couple up here. Like, they look. You're not fooling nobody with that beard, man. We know you were born in 1998. Like, I asked him about his skincare routine. He was like, hey, the secret is being born before the 21st century. Like, that is... Man.
Thanks, some moisturize.
But hey, that's the thing to do. That's, hey. Man, I like your beard, man. Last time I talked to a dude with that kind of beard, he was convincing me he wasn't racist because his favorite movie was Remember the Titans. And that blindsided me. And by that I mean he adopted me and now I play left tackle for Ole Miss University. Holler at me if you want some tickets. I'm not even drunk. I don't know why. Shout out to the brother in the fedora. Thank you, bro, for pulling up. Thank you, man. Yeah, I learned a long time ago that you can't trust a dude in a fedora around your girl. Like, he will definitely steal your girl if he's got a fedora on. I watched a dude in a fedora pick up a girl with his legs crossed. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was like, hey, you want to go home? This will be fun. His shoe was dangling and everything. You get the idea. You get it. Trying to do an act out, hold my beer, and okay. I can tell this row here can fight. Y'all are like, make fun of us. I dare you, make fun of us. This group, listen, this is why I'm not afraid of an active shooter right now. Like that. They stay strapped. This couple here, thank y'all for sliding through. Yeah, you got your arm around your girl. That's how you do it. That's it. Y'all look like a couples yoga couple. Does that make sense? Me and my girl, we're couples yoga couple. Like, me and my girl, we're so liberal, we're conservative. Does that make? Like, we be arguing, and then like our arguments are be like, okay, babe, let's finish our vinyasa and then buy some more ammo. Like, let's finish the yoga and then buy. Feels good, y'all. And make some noise if you're sober. Clap it up for sober folks. Okay, that's a good number, y'all. I like sobriety, but sometimes y'all can be weird when y'all are telling us you're sober. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I ran into a friend of mine from college, and I hadn't seen him forever. And I was like, hey, yo, 6'8". Hey, let me buy you a drink. Let's do some shots. Let's catch up. He looked at me and said, nah, I stopped drinking. I don't even eat cereal anymore.
What?
I was like, bro, I don't think you know the meaning of addiction, you know? Then it got funny to me because I started thinking about it. You know, because like if you drink, we've all done this, right? We're not going to go out, then someone hits us up, they're like, come out for one drink. Right? And then what happens? It's 2 a.m., we're doing shots at the bar, right? And I was like, what's the cereal equivalent to that? Like is my friend just sitting at home like, listen, we're only going to eat Cheerios tonight. And then next thing he knows, he wakes up and there's Frosted Flakes in his beard. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Man, this is nice, man. Make some noise if you're single. Clap it up for single folks. Okay, there's a few of y'all. Y'all Y'all two in the back, I did not think y'all was single. I thought y'all was together. I gotta be honest. Like, it's gonna be an uncomfortable conversation on the way home, I feel like. That's... No, man, but being single's tough, right? Like, a friend of mine who's on the dating apps, he said that being single is like watching a Nicolas Cage movie. It's either really good or really bad, there's no in between. Love, man. It's like you're driving to a Tinder date, and you don't know if it's going to be Leaving Las Vegas or Bangkok Dangerous. Some of the guys in here are like, both of those movies are amazing. What are you talking about? And me and my girl, we've been together for about 2 years. And thank you. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. One of the things I learned is that things that annoyed me in other girls, I appreciated my girl because I'm in love with her. I don't know if that. Thank y'all. A little sarcastic by y'all. I kind of like that though. I like it. No, man, but like my girl, when she sleeps, she does this thing with her mouth where it looks like she should be drooling, but nothing comes out. You know what I mean? She's just laying there looking like a super cute stroke victim. You know what I mean? Like, my girl's sexy. That's what I'm saying. She's sexy. We sometimes do dumb stuff together though. Like we think it's smart at the time, and then we look back later and we realize how dumb it is. Like earlier this year, in January, we did dry January, which we just didn't drink at all. And then one day she comes home and she's like, "Hey, babe, I got us some non-alcoholic wine." And I was like, "How much did you pay for grape juice? $20? That's like 5 Welch's, you know what I mean?" Like we drank it. It was nice. It was fun. And then the next morning, we both woke up sick because of all the sugar in the non-alcoholic wine. Cedar Glade Brews, do you hear me? We woke up with a hangover during dry January. Like that. Thought we was smart. We was being dumb. I'm glad that I thought it was going to rain tonight. I thought it was going to rain, and I'm glad that this weather is actually nice. In fact, clap it up for good weather. Make some noise for good weather. That's enough. That's enough. Because I like bad weather too. I like bad weather because it makes us smarter. Because we start using words we don't normally use, like inclement. I was talking to Jonathan before the show, and he was like, "Yo, I'm glad we ain't having inclement weather tonight." I didn't know what he meant. I had to change to something I did understand so I could continue the conversation. I was like, yeah, the Titans do need to implement a stronger defensive game plan. They expect to make it to the playoffs next year. You know, but they can't do it all at once. They got to do it incrementally. You know what I mean? They got to do it. Shout out to this table here. Like, I'm a millennial, but I love this table because they're like, look, this is how we do things. Like, the people who have been married the longest sit the farthest apart. Ladies over here, fellas over here. HGTV over here, ESPN over here. Wow. Shout out to this table in the back. Thank y'all for sliding through. I didn't think y'all were going to stick around. I saw that Yahtzee box. I was like, oh, we're interrupting game night. Like, someone's about to make some money on game night, and they do not want me doing. They didn't want to see a half-drunk comic doing crowd work. That's what. Shout out to the sisters in the back. Thank y'all for sliding through. They're like, please don't make jokes about us. I'm like, no, I'm just thanking y'all for being here. Last week I did a Juneteenth show and I was the only black person in the building, so. Y'all. How we doing? We good? We good?
Yeah.
All right. I moved out to Murfreesboro about 6 years ago. I really like it here. I like doing comedy here, but I still go to Nashville sometimes. And I was in Nashville the other day and doing a show, and these guys there, we're talking about a second Civil War. And I was like, we can have a second Civil War because we can't have twice as many Civil War reenactors. Think about the people in your life that you trust, that you can depend on. Have they ever been too busy because they were reenacting the Second Battle of Manassas?
That's smart.
Now, I thought that'd be kind of funny, right? Like being a tour guide in Murfreesboro after a second Civil War, right? Just be like, if you look over here, this is Stones River Battlefield from the first Civil War. Some of the last major fighting in the Western Theater. And if you look over here, this is the Battle of Whiskey Dick's Bar. Yeah, no one died, but it's the only battle in American history where both generals sold each other cocaine. Hey, y'all, Nick Bush, I appreciate y'all's time.
Oh, man.
Give it up one more time for Nick.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was scrolling on my phone again, and I saw that we're getting a Buc-ee's in Murfreesboro. That's interesting because the place they're putting it is like right next to a Walmart and right next to like several gas stations. Like, can you imagine being a gas station right next to a Buc-ee's? If like a Shell, like if you're a Shell, you're literally like Hillary Clinton, and if you're a Buc-ee's, you're like Monica Lewinsky, like you know what Bill's coming to. I thought of that one. Man, I really appreciate y'all for coming out. It was an absolutely amazing show. I have a tip jar over here that I'm gonna put by the entrance to get these comedians paid. We would love to see you at our next show. When's our next show? We don't know.
Next month?
Next month on a Friday around this time. We would love to see all y'all back. Thank y'all so much for coming. I appreciate y'all. Y'all get home safe.
Woo!
July 25th. July 25th is our next show.
Man.